Cheerio and welcome. I am the gentleman, and this is the gentleman voice. I had planned to share with you an editorial review for a movie, but perhaps now it's not the right time. So instead, let's take a look at... God dang it, Spielberg! Not again! The Gentleman Voice. Critical analysis and reviews for books and movies. Tonight's feature presentation. Why, Spielberg? Why? Haven't you suffered enough at my hands? First with the Jurassic Park sequel that was so terrible that you should not have made it, and then mockery from me because you didn't make the one that was better? Look, you do good work. You have some critically acclaimed works that I really admire. But then you go and you do something like this. Yes, Indiana Jones, the brainchild of Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. The iconic archaeologist character became the epitome of action, adventure, and mystery. But like every series, it has its ups and downs. And before you ask, let me go ahead and give you my opinions for the rest of the series. Love, meh, love. And this last one? Well, if you don't know already, you're gonna find out really soon. So let's go ahead and take a look at Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. So we see that Spielberg and Lucas want to make a mountain out of this molehill. And yes, that is a metaphor for this movie. See? That didn't take long. You know how I feel now. Let's not waste any more time. Cheerio and farewell. Stupid producers. Okay, well, since I'm obligated to do this, let's go ahead and make my reasons for not liking this movie crystal clear. Our movie opens with a drag race between the military and some teenagers. And as you can tell by my voice, I am absolutely riveted by this opening. I mean, which other movies had such boring credit rolls as... Okay, you made your point. Uh-oh, it's the writer of The Lost World. Be afraid, people. Be very afraid. The military convoy pulls off the road, but is stopped at a military checkpoint.
Sorry, gentlemen. This whole area is closed for weapons testing for the next 24 hours. That includes all on-base personnel.
Afraid that goes for you too, Colonel, sir.
Hey, don't you give the birds to my birds.
The Pentagon sent out revised...
And that is why you don't say no to an officer who outranks you. The convoy pulls into the base, and some of the soldiers drag out their prisoners. Look, it's Indiana Jones! Yay! And look, there's his buddy! I don't know either, guys. He's a stranger to me too, but he's Indy's buddy? To be fair, though, his name is Mac. But let's face it, he's just gonna be Buddy in all of our minds.
Russians. This ain't gonna be easy.
We are then introduced to our villainess for the evening, Cate Blanchett. She's part of a Soviet ESP division trained to read minds. One of their better ones because she...
Because I know things. I know them before anyone else.
Don't try to frighten us with your sorcerer's ways.
Okay, I'm sorry. I couldn't resist. The opportunity was too good. So she tries to read his mind, but what a surprise, she fails.
You're a hard man to read, Dr. Jones.
Or you're a complete fraud. So what are you gonna do now? Are you just gonna ask him to help you find what you're trying to find?
Object we seek. Rectangular storage container. Dimensions 2 meters by 1/2 meter by 66 centimeters. Contents of box. Mummified remains.
Look. Keep it tight.
Okay, seriously? He just took a step forward. What's with the uber dramatic flourishy draw?
You will help us find it.
Uh-huh. Well, why don't you make like a tree and... Oh, what? What? No! No! That's not what Indiana Jones would do. It's just a sword. He wouldn't give in that fast.
I need your bullets.
And a gun. But bullets first. If nothing else, I can just throw them at you.
The contents of that box are highly magnetized. I need gunpowder. You want my help? Or not?
Okay, that's all well and good, but why is he helping them? I mean, what was his reaction in the Last Crusade?
Shooting me won't get you anywhere.
I guess now that somebody's threatening with a sword, his priorities have changed. But, wouldn't you know it, the box is actually very magnetic. But only when it's dramatically convenient. The lights don't react until the box gets pulled out. The Russian lady's sword has to be right next to it before it gets stuck. If it's so magnetic that it draws gunpowder thrown in the air from 100 feet away while it's still covered, then why does this have to be uncovered for everything else to be affected? Dramatically convenient. At last, they prepare to open the box of things from Roswell, and everyone gathers round to see the remains of the dead alien. So Indy takes advantage of their distraction.
Drop the guns! Or Colonel Dr. Spalko is dead.
Yeah! That's more like it, Indy! That's the Indiana Jones that we used to know and love! But, in a surprising twist, Indy's buddy is actually the Russians' buddy. Oh, how terrible. I mean, I can just feel Indy's pain and shock at this betrayal. I mean, just totally fills me. Not at all. Seriously, why are we supposed to care? We just met this guy. If it was Marcus or Sala or his dad, then yes, we would care, but we just met him. It doesn't work that way, Spielberg. Well, if nothing else, it gives us an excuse to see Indy try and escape. Yes! This is even more like the Indiana Jones that we used to know and love. There we go! That's who we wanted to see! But I would be a lot more ecstatic if I knew that this was going to stay and not just disappear again. Oh, by the way, there's Lost Ark, haha. But, as with any dungeon, you have to fight the mid-boss in order to go on. And that's as much Indiana Jones as we get in this film. After this, it's all just subpar writing and boring plot points. And to drive that fact home, we have this scene.
Oh!
Hey, I knocked. You guys got a phone. Wait a minute.
All personnel, it is now 1 minute to 0 time. 6, 5, 4, 3.
Okay, I think that scene stands for itself, but I'll comment on it anyway. Why, if this is a model U.S. village, why did only his fridge go flying? Wouldn't there have been dozens of others that went out as well, in every direction? Why only his? No, that's really all I've got to ask about. I mean, I can understand that it's a lead-lined fridge, and he would have definitely died on impact, so I'm sure that what I just asked is the key question. While interrogated by the FBI, Indy wants some answers.
What the hell is going on, huh? KGB on American soil? Who is that woman?
Irena Spelko. She was Stalin's fair-haired girl. His favorite scientist, if you can call psychic research science.
Oh, well, when you put it that way, it sounds totally preposterous. I mean, if she's really all that psychic, then why does she need Indy?
Dr. Jones, let's just say for now that you are of interest to the Bureau. Of great interest.
Which, of course, means that it's totally legit for them to have to force him from his teaching position and also to leave the town because they're snooping around. No, really, that's what really happens. And you get the train ticket and gets ready to move on after all this goes on. And, of course, this is exactly what we pictured when we thought about the next Indiana Jones movie. Very little real archaeology and Indiana Jones just getting on the train to move on. But at least the plot comes calling again just before Indy leaves town when he gets hailed by a greaser named Mutt, who asks about a friend.
Platform, kid.
Are you a friend of Dr. Oxley's?
Harold Oxley, the archaeologist?
Yeah.
What about him?
You're gonna kill him.
This, of course, gets Indy's attention, and they start talking about crystal skulls.
He's down in Peru. Found some type of skull. Crystal skull. All right, we'll laugh if you want. Oxley said he found it this time. He said this was real, and he was off to a place called Akator with it.
Akator?
That's what he said. He said Akator.
It's a mythical lost city in the Amazon. Conquistadors called it El Dorado. I don't think it exists.
Why would Ox want to take the skull there?
I don't know, kid. It's just a story.
But then they are approached by men in suits who want them to come along.
Come quietly, Dr. Jones.
Oh no! How's he gonna get out of this one? Is he just gonna go along willingly and help them, or is he going to... start a brawl to an old pop song? Yeah, that was my third guess.
Come on! Come on, you can take!
Get on, Chris!
Go, 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 go!
And what follows is, I'm not gonna lie, a pretty fun car chase. Now when I say fun, I mean it was enjoyable to watch in comparison to the rest of the movie.
Left! Go left, left! Come on, listen!
And that is the last bit of fun you'll see in an Indiana Jones film. Indy takes Mutt to his house and begins deciphering a letter from Oxley.
It's a riddle. Follow the lines in the earth only gods can read, which lead to Oriana's cradle, guarded by the living dead. He's talking about the Nazca lines.
I think he came to that conclusion quickly. Too quickly. I mean, okay, I'll take that. I'll let that slide. I mean, maybe it's his specialty?
They saw him. Ox wandered into town a couple months ago, raving like a madman. The police locked him up in the sanitarium. It's this way.
But it turns out that Oxley's not there anymore because he got taken away, but at least he had time to draw all over the floors and walls. Because that's what crazy people do?
Look at the elongated cranium. And the same word in different languages over and over again. Retour. Voltaire.
Return. Return. Return where?
Or return what?
I don't know, maybe a skull? He's only just drawn it all over the room.
Ox didn't mean Oriana's birthplace. The cradle has another meaning in Mayan. Ox meant Oriana's grave.
Jeez, he is getting all the breaks. I remember a time when he used to have to work and decipher his clues. That was just handed to him. Thank you, Spielberg. Can I get another helping of Let Down?
Dead end.
I didn't mean right away, but okay. They find a chamber with 7 dead guys and quickly discover Oriana's corpse. Wow. That was despicably easy. No snakes or 3 tests?
What were they looking for?
Oh wait! That convenient magnetism can only mean one thing!
Crystal's not magnetic.
Neither's gold.
What is this thing?
Honestly, I don't really care. It's only an hour in, and I'm fading fast. This isn't Indiana Jones. It's a fan fiction of Indiana Jones. Seriously, George Lucas desperately wanted aliens in his movie, so he wrote this and forced it upon us. It's not the same. It has the characters, but it lacks the wit and soul of the earlier installments to the point of being nothing more than a hollow carcass picked apart by money-grubbing vultures. Go back to the drawing board and bring us something legit! Yet apparently even Lucas and Spielberg decided that Indy was getting everything too easily, so they had him get conveniently captured by his old buddy Mac.
Hello, Jonesy.
Hello, Mac.
Well, maybe now we can actually get some adventure for the first time in, 1 hour? It's seriously only been 1 hour? Oh god, something's gotta happen now. Indy and Mutt get taken to the Russian camp, where Buddy comes in to talk to Indy.
Eventually they're gonna let me out of this chair, comrade, and when they do, I'm gonna break your nose.
Comrade, you think this is about flags? I need you to see the angle here, mate. Be smart, do the right thing, just like in Berlin. Got me?
Berlin? What happened in Berlin? Can you please tell us? It's probably a more engaging story than what we're watching now. At last we discover what the Russians want.
But now this next level of weapon is ours to have. Yours to fear. A mind weapon.
Come on.
The body we found in New Mexico was not the first.
Saucermen from Mars.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
There is no other explanation.
There's always another explanation.
Yep, like lazy writing.
The skull was stolen from Akator in the 15th century. Whoever returns it
to the city temple will gain control over its powers. I've heard that bedtime story before.
You know, this would probably be a good time for Indy to start citing things that happened in his past that also were like this, such as the Ark and the Stones and the Grail. I mean, all these things had legends about how powerful and dangerous they were. And all of these were things that he learned to be true. Hell, if he started talking about those, they'd give me pause. But the Russians bring in Oxley, whose mind is broken.
What have you done to him?
The skull's crystal stimulates an undeveloped part of the human brain, opening a psychic channel. Oxley lost control of his mind by staring too long into its eyes. We believe you can get through to him after you have done the same.
No! That doesn't make any sense. I mean, either you're going to get 2 madmen, or you'll get Indy to be a brainwashed servant to you like he was in Temple of Doom, which I think there's a really very slim chance of that actually happening. But through some psychic mumbo-jumbo, which, let's be honest, makes no sense, Indy does find a way to communicate with Oxley after staring at the skull.
Henry. You what, Jonesy?
Oh, okay, that was a good shot. But Indy still refuses to aid the Russians, so they drag him outside and threaten Mutt and
Indiana Jones.
Marion Ravenwood? Okay, this movie's gone up a notch. For those of you who don't know, Marion was from Raiders of the Lost Ark. She was feisty, clever, and stood up for herself. She was the best romantic interest in the entire series. But that's not really saying much when our competitors are, Willie,
trouble with her is the noise.
And, well, Elsa was a Nazi, so that detracts from the hotness factor. But there's one more twist, and that's...
Mom! Sweetheart.
Mom.
Oh, well, actually, that's not too surprising. I could have figured that out. And I'd be even less surprised to find out that Mutt is Indy's son.
Marion Ravenwood is your mother.
Oh, for God's sake, Indy, it's not that hard.
I know, I mean, I never thought that you...
I would have a life after you left.
That's not what I meant.
Ooh, ouch. I think that makes our score Marion 1, Indy 0.
A damn good life.
Well, so have I.
Yeah? You still leaving a trail of human wreckage, or have you retired?
And that makes our score Marion 2, Indy 0. Seriously, you gotta step up your game, man.
Why, you looking for a date?
Yay, you got your first point!
With anybody but you.
Ooh, and that's another one for Marion. You're really bad at this, Indy.
Takes a little time to get back in the swing of things.
Well, then our Russian umps break up the fight and bring the lackluster plot back to the foreground.
Oh, Marion, you had to go and get yourself kidnapped.
Well, to be fair, you got yourself caught, too. Indy sits down with Ox and tries to make sense of his nonsense.
Get me paper, something to write with.
Auto writing, I should have seen this.
Really? The Russians never figured out that he wanted to write his information down? What other messages did they just happen to miss? Alright, Oxley, let's see what you gotta say. E.T. found El Dorado? Skulls with the Pirates of the Caribbean? Okay, I think that's everything that we need. Thank you, Oxley. We'll talk to you later. What the? A dinosaur! Hey, the writer for this movie is the same guy who wrote The Lost World, so that last one is still a possibility. Ox draws some ideograms for the Russian idiots, and while Indy and Blanchett look over the map, Mutt starts another fight and they run away. Because now Falls too shy of the buff to be more like Indiana Jones than Indiana Jones. Yeah, I'm sorry, but it's true. Indiana Jones is collaborating with the enemy, and he's never done that unless he had absolutely no choice. So, I guess we can all just chalk it up to bad fanfiction writing. But their escape is cut short when Marion and Indy get caught in a... Well, I'll let Indy explain.
It's a dry sand pit.
I'm sinking,
Quicksand
but I'm
is a
calm.
mix of sand, mud, and water, and depending on the viscosity, it's not as dangerous as people
Oh, for
sometimes
Pete's sake,
think.
Jones, we're not in school.
Yeah, he should know that. Since when did he become Mr. Explainer? You're in the middle of escaping! Act like you give a damn!
I'll go get something to pull you out.
Ox, don't just sit there. Help! Go!
Mutt can be a little impetuous.
Okay, punchline?
Indy,
He's a good kid, Marion. You should get off his back about school.
Mutt, I
Not
mean...
everybody's cut out for it.
His name is...
Punchline?
Good name.
He's your son.
And another massively unsurprising reveal. Mutt comes back and helps Marion get free, but a problem arises when they try to help Indy. Oh, a snake! This'll be good.
Go get something else.
Like what?
Like a rope or something.
There's no Sears and Roebuck here. Grab the snake. Grab the snake.
I'm calling it that.
It's a snake. What do you want me to call it?
Hey, rope.
Grab the rope.
And there's the one obligatory nod to Indy's snake phobia. And, while it was amusing, it's a bit drawn out and still too humorous when they're trying to escape! But because their escape was derailed by humor, the Russians managed to catch them again.
Good work, Ox. Thanks. Help.
Oh, okay, that was funny too. But for the record, just a few chuckles out of me does not make a movie good. On the way to El Dorado, the Jones family at last starts to clear the air.
I think we both knew, Marion, it wasn't gonna work.
You didn't know that. Why didn't you ever talk to me about it?
Because we never had an argument, I won.
It's not my fault if you can't keep up.
I didn't want to hurt you.
Shut up! So the Joneses seize the car and race off to get Ox in the skull.
Pull up next to that duck.
Is that supposed to protect it?
Come on, look out!
Ox has got the skull. Marion, take the wheel.
Okay, not a bad beginning. Just don't overdo it, Spielberg and Lucas.
Jonesy!
Hi, Mac.
Ooh, not the buddy's luck today with his nose.
I said, just like Berlin. What were we in Berlin, mate?
Double agents.
Throw me the skull! Throw me the skull!
Okay, we're starting to drift a little too far into the silly territory. Not to mention, plant shots to the nads are not funny. And we're also drifting to the 10-minute phase already. Let's speed this up a little bit. Mutt gets knocked off the car and Kate Blanchett gets a skull. But before anything else can happen, Mutt gets snagged on some vines and comes across a bunch of monkeys? Hey, don't look at me, guys. I didn't write it. I wouldn't write something so stupid. But believe it or not, it gets even stupider. Mutt learns how to swing from vine to vine by following the monkeys. I kid you not, that's what happens. All that's missing is for him to shout,
Beat it, or you're gonna make the whole thing unbelievable.
Before Blanchett pushes Indy and his friends off a cliff, Mutt drops in with his monkey mates and steals the skull to save the day. Again! I kid you not, that's what happens! And it's stupid! Both cars come to a stop and it looks like Blanchett has won. Until...
Big damn ass, go!
You know, Spielberg, I've already given the talking to Peter Jackson about using giant bugs, so, I guess I gotta give it to you now, too, so, take it, Jay.
You were stung as a child, weren't you?
And that question makes even more sense considering that you produced Men in Black. Seriously, what's your fascination with giant bugs? Stop it! So they all run away from the big damn ants, but the Russian mid-boss catches Indy. Luckily, Marion is there to protect the others as they flee, while Indy defeats the mid-boss by knocking them into the massive giant ants. I think I'm supposed to be feeling something at this point, but I'm kind of numbed by the long action scene, and I think that's impossible at the moment. Marion picks Indy and Ox up, then proceeds to drive them off a cliff and into a no. Okay, I hate to borrow from a movie twice so close together, but go ahead, Bob Hope!
Hurry up, this is impossible!
Indiana Jones has a history of ridiculous scenes. But this is a movie filled with ridiculous scenes. And it's got another one in just less than a minute. So, rather than prolong it...
3 times it drops.
Come on! Seriously, what's your problem? Why are you so shaken up right now? You drove a car over a cliff, into a tree, and into the water, and going over 3 waterfalls is what shakes you up? Let's just get through this quickly. They go through some caves, run through a bunch of natives, race down a tricky tower, then pass through a treasure chamber and reach the central room, where a skeletal alien council is waiting for them. And Mac turns out to be a traitor again as Kate Blanchett steps inside. I don't even care anymore.
Imagine what they could tell us.
I can't imagine.
Belief, Dr. Jones, is a gift you have yet to receive.
Oh, I believe, sister. That's why I'm down here.
And I don't believe either. That's why I look so bored. So the alien skeleton is repaired and Kate Blanchett approaches it.
Tell me everything you know.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
Only just now? Well, I guess that makes sense, because all hell's about to break loose anyway. So Indy and his friends flee, Mac gets his comeuppance, and Kate's mind gets blown, literally, and the heroes manage to get out just in time to see the flying saucer fly out into another dimension. And how does the movie end? Well, it ends with a wedding and rejection. That's right, despite bickering for so long, Indy and Marion finally get married, and Indy snatches his hat from Mutt before his son can put it on.
And that is it. It was done. I wish I could get a refund.
And that was Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And god dang it, Spielberg and Lucas, why did you even bother? Granted, it's tough to bring a franchise back after 20 years. By the time they got around to it, the heart and soul of Indiana Jones was dead. Even though there was humor, it was disjointed and forced into moments it shouldn't have been. So many parts needed cutting, so many parts needed trimming, and the whole movie felt like it was a poorly written fan fiction, lacking any connection of any kind to the source material. And don't even get me started on the aliens in the Indiana Jones mythology. If you need me to go into detail about... Wait, what is that?
The critic's reckoning. Is the camera rolling?
Yeah. What's the meaning of this?
You see, Mr. Gentleman. People of the internet, take control. Take control of your opinions. My name is Lord Doom, and I offer you your freedom. Freedom to choose and to believe. This man is a critic on the internet. A critic for a gentleman voice YouTube. But I tell you, he does not deserve this title. He is no critic.
Now wait a minute!
Silence! You have had your chance to speak for over 8 months. It is my turn now. People of the internet, this is no critic, and I will prove it to you. I have here a script for an unaired editorial review. A review of the Lone Ranger. Here you will have it, in the gentleman's own words, his admission of guilt. My subscribers and viewers, I will be the first to admit that I enjoyed the Lone Ranger. It was so bad that it was amusingly good. I even found Johnny Depp's tired performance amusing at times. If you cannot comprehend why, I will explain that it is a Twilight thing and you will not understand. Even though it brings me great shame, I tell you this, I enjoyed it. God save me, I enjoyed it. Do you believe that a man who enjoys this Disney blockbuster bomb, a bomb rated 30% on Rotten Tomatoes, can tell you what to think about movies? No, he cannot. His opinion is flawed. He cannot be true. And that is why we are here. To set you free. Free to make your own opinions and throw off the critic's yoke. Viewers of the internet, we are here to give the review back to you, the people. And with our help, together, this World Wide Web, it will endure.
Look! I don't know who you are, but you can't just come in here and hijack my review channel! I'm in control!
Do you feel in control? I thought not.
Listen, I got powerful friends on YouTube. They will not stand for it.
So you think YouTube is your ally? Well, I was born on YouTube. Take him someplace where you'll not get in our way.
Yo! Well, wait a minute! Don't do that! You're making a mistake! Don't go!
Once your subscriber base is ours and your YouTube critical name set into ash, then you shall have my permission to die.